Well, hello there and a very good day to you. Thank you so much for tuning in to this little end of month session. Yes, we made it. It's the end of January, a month that feels like the length of 3 months, I think, from time to time. There's in Germany a lot of darkness and rain and gray skies, which makes it easy to keep the happiness and the good mood and good thoughts. And I guess it's a month that can be quite stressy and overwhelming for um, for a few of us due to all this New Year's resolutions, new projects starting while you're still reflecting on what happened last year. So this all might build up a lot of tension, which is why we're here today. Um, the only thing we're doing today is to slow down, to try to soften some hard edges, and to just really, be present, not to worry about what was or what will be. Instead, just trying to um, mindfully, with a lot of intention, be in this present moment, move with intention, and let us help by our breath to find awareness in this very moment. So we are focusing today on a little bit spine mobility. We're gonna open the hips, which tend to store a lot of emotions, and we are starting to build all this up from our foundation, which means the feet. So let's dive in immediately and just come standing at the front of your mat in Tadasana mountain pose. Give you like a lot of space. You don't have to close the feet. Instead, put them hip wide or whatever feels for you. All I'm doing here is just inviting you and proposing you a few poses and what to do, but it is your body. You do you know what feels best for you today in this very moment. So just be mindful about that, and just take me as a little guide, and all I'm saying as little suggestion for you to follow and to make it your own. So find your way into this standing mountain pose, and let's just arrive here in this moment. So I invite you to close your eyes and just observe and notice what it feels like to stand here today. You might feel some tension that build up in the shoulders. You might feel your legs are sore, your back hurts, your mind may start to wander. For me, it's always the most challenging in yoga to do this slow flows and slow sessions, as my mind is always starting to wander and to be everywhere else but in this present moment. So humble invitation from my side to you. What helps me a lot is to set a little like a little intention, and to repeat it like a mantra whenever my mind starts to wander. And it's very simple. It's just I am present, and I keep on repeating and repeating and repeating it, and it always helps me to come back to this present moment instead of worrying and thinking too much. So I find this really useful. And what's also really helpful for me is also to focus on my breath. We will come back to this a little bit later when we are doing our final elongated relaxation today. So for now, let's return to our starting position mountain pose, Tadasana. See how it feels to be standing here today on your feet. Do you feel balanced or maybe a bit off? Are you tired or energized? And just try to don't judge. So, I wanted to be feeling fit and fresh today, and instead I'm just low on energy and want to crawl back to bed. Maybe you're angry because your roommate again left the kitchen super dirty and you're so annoyed of it. Whatever it is, just try to breathe through it and to just put it all aside for the next few minutes, for the duration of this session, and just focus on yourself and your body, your thoughts and your breath, and try not to judge anything. So all feelings that come up, all thoughts are welcome, and we're just here to observe and try, not to judge, and see where that takes us. So I invite you now to take a look at your feet. Our feet are doing so much for us. I mean, how much time do we spend on our feet? And it's just so normal that they're there. And we don't put proper attention to them, I guess, even though it's so important and it's so useful to improve everyday life. So if you take a proper look, you can start to shift your weight a bit around left to right. Just see how this feels. To shift your balance, maybe also front to back, very slowly, very gently. We're just playing around here for a bit. Maybe you can start to circle on your feet a bit. So going on the outside, to the heels, to the inside, to the balls of your feet. We're engaging the ankles a bit. Maybe you feel the engagement in your thighs even, in your chins, maybe even in your glutes. Could be. So, and see if you can find for yourself a place where you feel most grounded and balanced. So a place where you can really be centered and focused and stand really firm. So this is what Tadasana in Sanskrit means. It means mountain pose. So the goal here, if you would like to speak of a goal, to stand firm like a mountain. Let your feet really, really root into the mat. And we can achieve this and improve this by just finding 4 spots on each feet where we can put and divide our weight equally on. And these 4 parts are on the balls of your feet, the inner and outer areas, so to say, and also on your heels, inner and outer part. And now let's see if we can put this into practice. Lift all of your toes and try to spread them one after each other on the mat. So it might feel like a little froggy position with all your toes spread and glued to the mat. And then try if you can really divide the weight of your feet, of your body, on these 4 parts of the feet. It might feel a bit strange at the beginning, but it really helps you, especially in yoga, where we are focusing a lot on balancing poses, and then it's always helpful to have a proper foundation. But also off the mat, if we keep a good posture and a healthy foot position, this is really, good for us and makes life a lot more comfy and a lot easier. So, if we have this if we have found this foundation in our feet by trying to press these four, especially these four areas, so our foot is flat on the ground, and then try to engage your legs. So you have this feeling of pulling your thighs apart from each other, and this helps you to get more weight on the heels and also to distribute your weight properly on the outside of your feet, and to get your feet really, really flat on the mat and to establish a straight position. So, and if we have found this proper footing, I know it might sound a bit weird at the beginning if you never did pay attention to your feet, but it's really so useful and so helpful, and you will see it in a bit when we are going to do a bit of balancing. Anyways, so engage your legs and really imagine to pull up a lot of energy all the way up to the front of your body, all the way to the sky. So still try to soften your belly. So we don't want to cramp and clinch. We just, want to find what feels good for us today. So establish this grounding through the feet, energy flowing up through our engaged legs. Belly is soft, chest is proud, shoulders, tuck them back and down the back. The view, the gaze straight ahead, chin slightly lifted. The crown of the head, imagine to be like the top of the mountain, rising up into the sky. And then from the back of the head all the way down the backside of your body, you're really trying to ground down into the mat. So the front of your body is lifting up and the back of your body is grounding down. And just see how that makes you feel. Feel free to close the eyes again and just observe if you notice a difference from when you were first just standing, like we're standing, and now that you've established this really mindful way of standing and engaging your feet. And as with everything in life, foundation is just key. If we establish a solid and healthy foundation, we can build everything up from that. So this is why I'm putting so much focus on this in this very beginning. So close your eyes again, and then just take some deep breath, maybe all the way into your belly. And as we're trying to slow down in this session, to take off some speed, not racing through the next minutes, here's another invitation to just give it solid 80% in everything we do in all the asanas. So I know that we humans tend to be this overachievers, so very ambitious and always want to nail everything and make everything right, but not today. And I know this can be super, super tough. I hear you, but just try it out, how it feels to put 80% effort in it, because what we want to create is space and balance and softness after this super long month of January. To find some new space and spirit for the month to come. Have a deep breath. And then start to lift your arms all the way up, overhead. Gaze may follow. Palms of the hands are greeting each other, facing each other. And just stand here. Don't lose the awareness of your posture, of your feet. So this is our anchor, our foundation. And try to be really aware of that and to keep the connection all the way through the practice. So it's up to you if you like to put the palms of your hands together, or if you allow yourself for a bit more space. We want to give the neck a lot of space, so shoulders not cuddling up to the ears, but instead going down and away. So please, if it feels good, if it's cozy and comfy for you, just give yourself a lot of space. Don't be so hard on yourself. Not here, not today, honey. And then grab your left wrist with the right hand and stretch to the right. Imagine to open your chest, your front body up to the ceiling. So it's a bit of a turning upward motion with your left shoulder, left side of your body, and the gaze may follow. If it's too much in your neck, you can just look down to your right toes and just observe. Stay here and breathe. Notice what this stretch feels like today. And breathe slowly, your own rhythm. Pay attention to pulling in your pelvis. So sometimes you can tend to overstretch your back, which causes a lot of pressure on your lower back. And if you tuck in your pelvis, no, I'm just exaggerating here, but if you tuck in your pelvis, it helps to take off a lot of this pressure and make this position a lot more comfy. So, the next in-breath, let's turn to the center and then switch to the right side. Grab your left wrist with your right hand and then slowly bend to the left, little side stretch. Check out where your head should be, how far you will stretch to the left, to the right, sorry. And then just enjoy this feeling of creating space in the side body. And let's turn to the center. How's your foundation doing? I hope everything still feels good. So we're staying at the front of our mat and trying to work a bit on our balance here with tree pose. So you can start with your left leg. Just start to wiggle, turn your ankle a bit. And whatever is good for you today, just put the sole of your feet either on the inner side of your lower leg, or maybe grab your ankle and put it all the way up on the inside of your right thigh. And see how this feels. Be aware of your foot positioning. So if you try to establish There's good connection to your feet on the floor with the 4 points and helps you to feel much more stable. And then this tree pose, what we're aiming for is to keep our hip centered, so not spilling to the left or the right. The foot is pushing firmly to our inner thigh and the inner thigh against the feet. So the foot, so two opposing forces that help us to remain balanced. And the lifted leg is supposed to move out and a bit down. Your hands can stay on your hips for support. Belly still soft, chest lifted, gaze straight forward, chin lifted. Feel free to play around here a bit. Let your breath guide you through this balance. It's good if you're shaking, if you're wobbly. Just see what feels good here for you today. And of course, if you have a wall close by, feel free to use it for some extra support. So now let's take the hand to the left foot and put it on our right thigh. So we are building like a figure 4. And again, use the wall if it feels good. Keep your right foot flexed and then just sit back. This is a real intense hip stretch, hip opener, and also stretching the glute a lot. We're aiming to keep the spine long, so no rounded spine. Pelvis tucked in. Hands can stay again on the hips, on the wall. Stretch to the front and then just really keep your gaze straight ahead, maybe on one point. Always helps to focus. And then sit back as low as feels good for you. Today, just pay attention that the knee is not going above your toes, above the ankle. So make sure to be always able to see your toes. Just stay here for a few breaths. Might start to shake and then slowly come up again. And then we have another side to work on. So let's dive right in with the right leg. Bit of circles to loosen up the ankle at first before you find your version of tree pose today. So it's definitely fine to keep it low today, whatever feels good. Remember, 80%. Make it easy for you. It should feel really good. You don't have to prove anything to anyone. So it's the glory of home practice. Just you and your body and your breath. Isn't that amazing? And here again, in tree pose, grounding down to the standing leg, like roots of a tree, connecting us to the earth. Hips forward, foot pressing against the inner thigh of the standing leg. Chin lifted and breathe. Maybe you'd like to play around here a bit. It's like a waving tree position. And then again, find your figure 4 by putting your right leg over your left. Feet is flexed. And then sit back. Watch your knee position, and again, think of the 4 points of your foot, of your grounding foot, and then if you feel good and safe and cool here, you might lift your arms, gaze straight ahead, and sit back with long back, long spine. Just feel this amazing stretch also in the glute, opening the hip. Belly stays soft. And then come up. And like a little rule of thumb, a very good indicator is that you should always be able to breathe easily no matter what you're doing. So as soon as you feel your breath is like a bit cramped or shallow or stuck, then that's a really good sign that you should change your position a bit, maybe take out a bit of effort and to find more ease. So let's move on with a little mini sun salutation. So we are starting again in mountain pose. And then you're gonna breathe in and lift your arms up to the sky. Gaze may follow. And with your next out breath, roll all the way down towards the floor. Next in breath, lift halfway. Gaze is down, spine is long. Exhale, roll down again. And inhale all the way up, arms reaching to the sky, to the ceiling. And then the arms back down next to your body. Let's do this 2 more times in your own rhythm. So breathe in, lift up. Exhale. Go down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, down again. And inhale, up towards the ceiling. And exhale, arms back to the body. Last time, we're going to stand, to stay a bit in the positions now. So, feet on the ground, foundation is there. And an in-breath, rise all the way up with your arms. Hands may touch or not. Exhale, rise down. And stay here. Just breathe. See where your hands reach the floor or towards the floor. You can always feel free to take some books or whatever you have, blocks to lift the earth up to you. Otherwise, just hang here for a bit before you go into halfway lift. Elongate the spine, crown of the head reaches forward. Belly stays soft. And your buttocks is striving to go to the back. So establishing one long line and elongating your spine. Hands can be comfortably on the tops of your thighs. Arms close to your body. Gaze down, neck long. And then we're going all the way down again. And stay here for a bit. You can find a movement that feels good. You can start to move your legs, bend the knees a bit. Feel free to grab your elbows and start to sway from left to right. It's really, really nice to open up the lower back, which is very tight for most of the people. Can stay on one side for a little extra stretch. Go over to the other side. Then come back to the center and open your feet really wide now. Let your the outer areas of your feet touch the outer edges of your mat. And then just sit down here. We're coming to a really deep squat. This is Malasana. And turn to you. So, in Malasana, try to keep a straight back, long line of the spine, trying to lift to the sky. So, no cranking, no rounding of the back. And it's helpful if you're put your palms together, like to press your elbows against the inner thighs, against the inside of your knees, to like push them away and more outward, and you feel this really, really intense stretch on the inside of your hip. Such a great grounding posture, super helpful, cleansing. So try to keep your legs grounded, your feet grounded. Toes can splay outward. Feet don't have to be straight. And then put your right hand flat on the mat in front of you and lift your left arm. Gaze may follow, so we're doing a little twist here. And if you like, you can go for a bind with your left arm going behind the back, trying to reach the right hand. That's like wrapped around the right chin. So come back to center if you were in the bind, and then let's switch sides. Left hand down, right hand up. And again, if you fancy it, go for the bind. But just if you can remain long in your spine. Just going to show you from behind. Goal is here again to lift the chest, open up the shoulders to the sky. Yes, and then come back to the floor and let's come into tabletop. So your knees on the mat, hands flat on the floor. Feel free to lower the tops of your feet or keep the toes tucked, whatever feels good for you. And then we try to establish again a long line of your spine, so we don't want to sink in the shoulders, but rather stay lifted. Press out of the hands. Gaze is done, and then just let's start by a few rounds of cat-cow here. So inhale. Your belly strives towards the mat. The floor, pelvis moves backward. Neck long. The gaze can go up towards the sky, chin lifted. And on the exhale, round your back. Really open the shoulders. away from each other. And then in your own breath rhythm, flow through a few rounds of cat-cow here. Find what feels good. In cow pose, you might experience a nice stretch in your belly, in your abdomen. And in cat, stretch all the way the back side, all the way along your back. So go for one more round. Pay attention to the position of your hands. Keep them pressed and active. And then stretch your right leg back, lift it up from the mat, circle your ankle a bit, and then put the foot in between your hands for a low lunge. Right leg is forward, then put your left palm on the floor again and open up. Right arm to the sky. Open twist in the shoulder, long in the spine. Gaze may follow the hand. Come back here and then put both of your legs in like a 90-degree angle on the mat. So, right leg is in front, 90 degrees, and the left leg, like the knee is depending on how you're anatomically built, your own physical shape, the left knee is close to the right heel, and the leg also bent 90 degrees, and then just crawl forward. Your weight is on the right glute. So then use this to crawl forward, over and bend over your right leg, and then just see where it feels good to stay today. It's a really nice stretch for the back, the legs, the hips, the glutes. And you can even relax your head down on your hands, on the floor, wherever feels good for you today. Just stay here for a bit, breathing deeply, nice deep breath into the belly, and really try to sink deep into the mat. Before you come up again, finding your way back to tabletop. Find your foundation again before you take the left leg to the front. Enjoy this nice stretch in your hips. Right palm placed down on the mat, and an open twist to the left. Enjoy this sensations going on in your upper body, in your shoulders, the length you're creating. Just amazing for you. And then here as well, the two 90-degree angles with your feet. So the front leg is the thigh is showing toward the short side of your mat, and the back leg is behind the front leg, but both legs in something like a 90-degree angle. Feet are flexed, and then you can turn forward, get long, and then all the way down. Weight is on the left glute, and just relax here, sink in to this pose. Breathe. And every breath might take you deeper into the mat, but again, don't force anything. You do you. Enjoy what happens in your body. Stretch the length you're creating. Just simply try to let go a lot. And then come back to sitting. Put your feet in front of you in something that looks a bit of like a diamond shape. And as we were starting with our feet and the foundations, we might now use the time to take a closer look to our feet again and give us a little self-massage. Woohoo! Yes, foot massage it is. So whatever feels good for you. So you can take all your fingers, put them through your toes. This is a bit difficult in the beginning and maybe even a bit painful, but it's worth it. So just try to dig in with your fingers, and then you can really get going, so rotating your pinkies, your toes, and really massaging the sole of your foot, the balls, the heels, using your thumbs, the whole hand, and whatever firmness or softness level you prefer today. And also, of course, not forgetting about the other foot. So, and these foot massages seem a bit weird at first when you start it, because you think, oh, why would I massage my own feet? But it's so beneficial because there are a lot of energy points in your feet that get stimulated and that deliver fresh energy and positive energy to your body. So this is really, really nice. And it's also nice that you don't have to have a manual. You just can do what feels good for you, and it's gonna be good for you either way. So yay! Enjoy for free. Yes, and then feel free to move all the way up to your legs. We're working a bit in our balancing postures. You can give them a rub, a little massage before we now come down on our backs. Keep the legs as they are. We're going to finish in Supta Baddha Konasana today. So really slowly, mindfully make your way down to the mat. Maybe take a break in between to let your body adjust to this position. You can feel free to use pillows or blocks under your knees for support if that feels good for you. If this opening is a bit too intense maybe for you, you You can also use a blanket or pillow for your head and then just lie down here, relax, let go, find a good position for you, comfortable position. You can play with the distance of your legs, whatever feels good for you today. You can place the hands on the belly or on the heart, in your lap or next to your body, so really wherever feels good for you. Shoulders away from the ears. And last invitation from me today is once again to close your eyes and just observe, and really, if you've been given 80%, if you managed to give 80%, then really slow down even more now until you're reaching a level of effortlessness. Just notice how it feels to be lying here on the floor. Notice the sounds around you, the temperature of the room, smells. Notice how your body feels. Maybe you notice a difference from the beginning of our practice to how you feel now. Maybe we managed to create a bit more space for you, your body. Elongate your spine. Loosen some blocked spaces maybe. And if you're in the mood for it, observe your breath. Let it flow just naturally through your body and see how your breathing is today. If you have like full breath all the way into your belly, if your breath might be a bit shallow, ending in your chest, which is quite normal. Relax your face, your facial muscles, your eyes. And just see, observe if by lying here, by putting your weight on the floor, by letting go, if your heart rate is slowing down, if your breath is slowing down too and might travel a bit deeper through your body, but without force. Just see what happens if you allow yourself to lie here in a safe space of your mat on the floor, protected, safe, supported. Try to stay present with your thoughts. Stay here. Every inhale, every exhale. If your monkey mind starts, maybe use your attention again. I am present. I am present. And see what happens, what changes in your body, in your breath, in your emotional state today. I hope it's nothing but wonderful. We had the session, which was supposed to be much shorter actually, but as always I'm talking too much. So sorry for that, and thanks for hanging with me. I hope it was a good session for you. I hope brought you some peace of mind, some calmness, openness, and a lot of positive energy for the month of February, which will bring us more light and hopefully more sun, at least here in Germany. So stay here as long as you like, or if you want to, need to, must get up. Use your hands on your outer thighs to close the legs. Straighten your right arm. Come into a fetal position. Stay here for a few seconds to let your body adjust. Then use your left hand to push up from the floor. And sit down. Just observe one last time before you go back to your everyday hustle. Maybe starting to work on your to-do list now. Continue to work on whatever it is you have to do. Maybe you can find some mindfulness throughout your day, and maybe you implement some of this basics of standing and foot position we established in the beginning also in your everyday life, and see what happens with your posture, with the balance. Just see. Thank you so much for joining me today in this end of January session, 31st of January 2005 it is today. And see you very, very soon. I guess I'll be back with a bit of core work exercises next time. So that's all for now. Take good care and all the best for you. Bye bye.